A few days ago, I happened to glimpse Mayor Cuomo of New York berating people who did not wear masks in public, saying that they were guilty of possibly killing other people because of their refusal to wear masks. Now, at the time when I saw him say this, I noticed one thing in particular most strikingly, which is that while he was saying these things, he was not wearing a mask. If that doesn't in itself encapsulate so much of I don't even think they're clueless. I mean they are clueless, but I just think they don't give a damn. I think that they are it's beyond just being hypocritical. They just don't even think, these people, in those kinds of terms, because anything they do is justified, and they are of a different species than the rest of us. That's my thesis. That's my take on what I've called our reptilian rulers. But since that time, of course, it's come out that Cuomo was guilty of killing thousands of people, thousands of older people, by sending older people who had contracted the virus into care homes. And care homes are, of course, places where you have a very vulnerable population. People in care homes are old, sick, frail. Who couldn't see that coming? Now, it didn't just happen with Cuomo in New York. It happened in several other states. It happened in places across the world. It happened, according to Vernon Coleman, a great YouTube commentator who I will link to here, and that I definitely think that every one of you should follow him. But he talked about how this same scenario played out in England as well. And one comes around to thinking that there was something systematic in all of this, that it wasn't just carelessness, because how could it have been simple carelessness? You know, as Coleman makes the point in his video, he says, you know, no one would have sent patients with the flu, no one would have sent them into care homes, because they would have known, they would have thought to themselves, these are places with vulnerable populations. So the flu will probably spread there, and people will the inhabitants of the care homes will probably die there. So the idea that it could have just been sheer stupidity and negligence, I don't know. That, to me, that beggars belief. To me, it seems much more like a systematic, intentional act. It was a way to take out a bunch of older people, you know, who are useless eaters in the minds of so many of our eugenicist elites. And also, it's a way of amping up the numbers of you know, because they want to have a big death toll with this virus that they're hyping night and day and night. And it's really an unpleasant thing to think of, but I mean, how can you not connect the dots, you know? And I am calling out Cuomo. I'm calling out everybody else. Cuomo is the most public face of this. He's the one who was called out by name, seemingly more conspicuously than anybody else. But I'm calling out every other official, everybody else who is complicit in doing and committing these kinds of acts, of sending elderly people who had been tested positive, who were sick with this virus, into care homes where it would of course rage like wildfire and end up resulting in a bunch of deaths, which is of course useful for the state, because the state can now say, well, look at this spiking death rate. we've got to socially distance. We've got to do all these things that Bill Gates says that we need to do until he finds us his handy dandy vaccine. I mean, we are ruled by monsters. I mean, there's no way around it. They are monsters. And they have killed people, and they will continue to kill people. And yet they say that they try to project it onto us, onto the dissidents, those who don't want to stay in their homes and wear masks all the time, and they're healthy and they want to go out and wander as they choose to wander. Such people are called grandma killers. But who's the real grandma killer? Mayor Cuomo? Who's the real grandma killer, huh? Somebody, a young person, a healthy person, doesn't even have to be young. A person of any age who's healthy, who goes out without a mask, like it's his right to do under the Constitution as a human being. It's called liberty. Is that person, you're going to say that person is guilty of murder? Or is someone like you and your lackeys and your contemporaries in government and in positions of power who send sick people into the frailest of communities where other people will surely die? Who's the real grandma killer? It's you. It's you, Cuomo. You and the rest of you. Murderous thugs. That's all you are. Andy Nowicki, altrightnovelist.com. Andy Nowicki, low status novelist, blogspot.com.